You know, this is a bit of a new thing. For the show, we don't normally talk about cars. I mean, we probably have, but yeah, cars have always been a source of nostalgia. In that, say, everyone always remembers the first car that they ever got growing up, and looking back at it fondly. So, one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a bit of brief history when it comes to the Mustang. So let's get started. So, in April 17th, 1964, the Ford Mustang was introduced. It was often dubbed the 1964 and a half Mustang. It was had a sleek and sporty design, available in a coupe and convertible bite styles, along with a range of engines. This version, which was a Generation 1, it was when you look back at it, of the 1960s, icon. Some of the models that were very popular of this era was the Mustang Shelby CT350. The legend, Carroll Shelby, had developed this powerful machine, and it emerged as a high-performance masterpiece. And it had, merged as a high-performance vehicle, which featuring a V8 engine, and aggressive, and as well as, a new idea when it came to the muscle car. We had the second generation, which ran from 1974 to 1978. One thing that we had to kind of remember about it was the oil crisis of the 1970s. It in a way changed the automotive industry. So, in a way, basically tried to say, okay, we're gonna have to go smaller, so we're not gonna have to be able to use so much gas. And this time, we had the Mustang 2. It made its debut. It was a bit bigger, as well as when it came to the material for this vehicle, it was a lot heavier. It had a hatchback. The Mustang 2, though, it basically said, okay, we're gonna have to, have this one as a vehicle that is gonna be one that we're gonna have to, have as a staple through, to get the consumers to be interested. Third generation, that was from the 1979 to 1993. In this era, it had the Fox body Mustang. It had returned to say different, okay, we're going to have more of a grill, and as well as a extended hood. This era introduced the Mustang SVO, which had a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. So one thing that needs to be noted is that throughout the 1980s, the Mustang continued this change and, get better and better. It had, as well as during this time, had a 5.0 liter V8. Around this time as well is say, okay, the reason this vehicle became a bit more popular is became popular because of drag racers. As well as they say, okay, oh wow, look at that muscle car. It became the more so say, okay, you want to be shown say, hey, you want to put the pedal to the metal. Then we had the fourth generation. This generation was from 1994 to 2004. Got a lot of Fords going on there. It arrived in 1994 with a newer design as well, with more aerodynamic dynamics, while also having more of a modern ideas. This era introduced the SN95. In 1996, Ford launched the SVT Cobra. It had a 4.6-liter V8 engine, and the Cobra, it became a bit of a favorite among, like, say, performance enthusiasts, and as well as collectors for vehicles. Then we have the 5th generation. The 5th generation was from 2005 to 2014. One thing this one did was it tried to, like, say, okay, let's look back at the past by, like, say, giving, like, references to designs of the 1960s. It had basically, like, say, okay, we're going to have, like, say, some, like, looks return, like, more of a like, square shape, and as well as I had, like, a coupe and convertible variants. The thing that made this, like, say, okay, this is gonna be good, is that one thing that was introduced during this era was the Shelby G2 CT500, which had a V8 engine generating over 500 horsepower. This era also brought back an interest in muscle cars for a whole new generation. Now, we have the 6th generation. The 6th generation Mustang made its debut in 2015. Giving it more of a modern design. This area also had a EcoBoost 4-cylinder when it came to their V8 engines, and the return of the Shelby CT350.
Unique suspension components and an available adaptive Magna-Ride suspension, the Shelby is a Stang that's built to corner as well as it sprints. Helping control the Maelstrom are driver control performance modes and Ford's track apps with line lock burnouts and launch controls.
But one thing, say when you look back at it, in a way, this generation would also have a return to, drivers who have a liking for sports vehicles, sports cars. This will be a area of, okay. Now we have the 7th generation, which had started last year and it's currently ongoing. And as well as one thing that it needs to be noticed is that Ford has celebrated over 60 years of history. The latest version had a bit of a muscular, physique to the way the car looks. And as well as one thing, they had a double bubble dashboard.
We are making history all over again. Supercar power and Mustang soul. This is the Mustang GTD.
And yeah, when you look back at it, a lot of the generations for, the Mustang, they all have their different looks, and as well as, things that they would, try to, look back at and say, okay, we're going to add, use this as a pinpoint to see what we can do when it comes to the future. But have you ever had a Mustang? Have you thought of getting one? Are you a collector of them? Because I'm sure there are quite a lot of folks that have, collected them. I'll see you next time.